And a pretty stunning headline published in the New York Times calling out the Phoenix Police Department for officers involved in those shootings.
The Times headline, and we quote, "How Phoenix explains a rise in police violence. It's the civilians' fault." Phoenix officers have been involved in 41 shootings. That's just one away from doubling last year's total.
Phoenix Police just sending us a response to the article, but first, here's ABC 15's Justin Pizzera.
41 times this year, we've seen this in the city of Phoenix. The flashing lights, the crime scene tape, and have heard the sometimes disputed accounts of why an officer fired their weapon. As of tonight, there's been 41 officer-involved shootings involving a Phoenix police officer. In all of 2017, there were 21. In an exclusive interview today with ABC 15, Phoenix Mayor Thelda Williams said officer-involved shootings is a problem everywhere, not just in Phoenix.
It's across the country. I think you see more violence, disgruntled people. I also blame social media because you could say anything, do anything, and get away with it. But then when you put it in practice, face to face, it's a whole different story.
Williams says the city has increased its training for officers, specifically when it comes to mental health.
How to identify someone's mental health, trying to teach people how to interact with them, how to deal with people who are strung out on drugs, because they all have such potential to be violent.
Chief Jerry Williams declined our interview today to talk about the numbers, but we did talk to her back in August, the day after the city's 34th officer-involved shooting. There's been 7 more since then.
These shootings have happened all over the city. These shootings have happened with different ethnicities, with different genders. I wish I knew one key cause of it.
At the time, Chief Williams said there was a 45% increase in the number of assaults against her officers. The city is paying 6 figures for a report that's expected to be released later this month. They're hoping it will give them some insight into why the numbers are so high and what they can do to stop it.
I do understand that there are some folks who don't like the uniform, who have misperceptions or have perceptions about law enforcement. I will say this, at the end of the day, I'm a part of this community, I'm a member of this community, as are the men and women who put on the uniforms.
That was Justin Pizzera reporting. Now, Phoenix PD Chief Jerry Williams posting a response to the Times article on the Nextdoor app, and it reads, we quote, "The headline alone misrepresents what I've repeatedly said. First, the headline implies that we have already made up our minds as to the explanation for the rise in violent encounters. We cannot explain the rise, which is exactly why we have turned to experts and scholars to help us get an understanding of the sociological component of these incidents. Second, it misrepresents that we are blaming civilians. What we know as facts, time and time again during these encounters, violent individuals are victimizing members of our community and attacking officers with guns, knives, and other weapons." The chief goes on to say, "While no one has yet said why, our reality is that out of 41 Phoenix police officer involved shootings, we engaged 35 individuals armed with guns, 4 with knives, and 1 with a dangerous instrument. The violence displayed by these individuals is very concerning, but it is not representative of those who live in Phoenix and our core values. Phoenix does not blame the civilians as alleged in the article's headline." You can read her full statement now on our website at abc15.com.